Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever in the world you might be tuning into HopEUm from. The number one, best, most tasteful, most impressive League of Legends podcast coming out of Europe. It is going to be my absolute pleasure to dive into some very juicy and spicy topics today. Just before I introduce to you a lovely army of co-streamers and my very lovely co-host, I do want to remind everybody that we are on YouTube, we are on Twitch, we are on Spotify. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Please do also leave a rating, especially on a platform like Spotify, where it really helps push the podcast to other League of Legends fans and enjoyers, people who listen to podcasts and gaming. It really helps us out a ton. One last favor to ask: if you see something or hear something that you like, hit that clip it button. We want to get a little bit better at spamming those clips, and if we get to see a bunch of you hit clip, we know it's really, really good. Now that the introductions are out of the way, it is my pleasure to say hello to Kitty, to Brizz, and to Skyyart. So let's bring on your conversationalist tonight. Hello, everybody. Skyyart, how are you doing, my friend?
Actually, very good. I'm very happy to be with you guys. What a lineup. Love it.
Yes. Your haircut looks good. Is that a fresh cut?
Yeah, wanted to hide that I'm losing hair.
You look amazing. You look lovely. Brizz, how are you doing with a full head of hair?
I mean, happy like this, of course. And I have a question actually. What the hell is that Labubu from Kitten from your quick shot? Like I was happy before watching the cam, and then I see a double Labubu over there.
Yeah.
I felt a bit FOMO. I had to bring in my Labubu to celebrate the
my
Labubus
God.
on the stream. Just for all the people that
Oh
didn't
my
see the
I'm on-
Labubu on the side, we have matching Labubus. It's the Coca-Cola collaboration from Christmas.
Oh my God. Get me out of here, please.
And G2, Labrov's nickname is Labubu, so we're in spirit of
Now I
Labrov today.
understand. Yeah, now he
Also-
goes 0-10 every game. Now I understand why.
Can I teach you something as well? So a Labubu is obviously like there was a massive craze. They became really like expensive and really popular. If you buy the ones that are not 100% legit, it's called a Lafufu. So I have a Labubu and a Lafufu. Kitty, how are
So
you
you're
doing?
telling me when Labrov doesn't play good, we call him Lafufu?
Lafufu. Why not? Let's try and make it a thing. How you doing,
my
Kitty?
God. I'm good. Talking about hair, I was streaming earlier today, and someone deadass asked me if my hair was fake hair and if I had a wig on, and I had to zoom in on my hair follicles. So I feel
Wow.
very hairy today.
My
so that's
my
the
hair's super
vibe today.
thin, so I'm gonna be losing mine soon. Anyways, let's dive into some League of Legends. Just before I jump straight into the spicy topics, did anybody watch the Jinxie Creator League of Legends tournament? That's a no. Kitty, Brizz, did you guys keep up with it?
I'd like to watch a real League of Legends. But
Okay, great. I just wanted to do a temperature check. So Kitty, you and I'll touch base on that maybe a little bit later. Let's jump straight to the spicy one. Skyyart, on the weekend, I saw every single French content creator going to war, and I didn't see your rifle. I didn't see your post. What happened, dude? What was your take on France versus Spain?
Actually, I don't know. It went pretty crazy. I mean, I think it was like a French, Spanish community fighting each other. I was like, they take it very seriously, to be honest. And even on the interviews on the show, they were like a bit aggressive, But I like it. I mean, it's. I'm not sure. I think it went a bit too far, but I think it's very good that it brings real. Real.
more passion. Yeah.
Yeah, more passion and real emotion, I would say, in the game. And Pentacalist was, I guess, unlucky for them.
Brizz, what was your take?
I mean, I actually loved it. I think it was one of the best actually thing that happened this year. It gives you more than just seeing people playing against each other. So I love when stuff like this happens. But I have to say, I think like maybe Kameto was a bit of a kid right here because like I legit saw him. Doing a TikTok against Vladi maybe few weeks earlier. And,
Okay.
Ibai says something about him and then he cancel a show match. I don't know, man. I think he's just a crybaby.
I thought that was quite unprofessional, personally. I think when you have agreed to do an appearance, when you've agreed to go on stage, when you are a brand and an influencer and somebody with that much impact, and you're going up against Ibai, like it's not just a game, right? Like it's
It
business.
is,
It's I was really disappointed. I loved personally the emotions. That's the word I'll use. I love the emotions. I actually don't even mind the fact that Ibai and Kameto were maybe a little bit childish in how they were insulting one another, but it made the Koi versus KC one of the best series all
yeah.
year. Maybe the best series all year. Just quickly before I come back, Kitty, I know that culturally, Asian fandom and supporters would not go that direction. So what was it like watching it unfold from your perspective?
I wanted to give a quick shout out since I only understand English and Mandarin. Shout out to that new feature on X where they auto translate every single language to your main language. So I was reading Spanish, I was reading French, y'all, with no issue whatsoever. Hopefully, nothing got lost in translation because that's what I'm worried about the most. Because I'm aware that a lot of these banter sometimes does get lost in translation and it kind of comes off as either rude or a bit
Yeah.
over the top. So that's something that I have to figure out by looking at different sources, which is something that was very, very crucial for this Kameto and Ibai situation between MKOI and KC. I thought it was really good. I deadass stayed up until what, 5 a.m. watching that final game. Of course, it went to 3, by the way. KC versus MKOI, and every game was like 50 minutes long. So I was like, oh, I have to stay awake because I need to know who wins the ego battle between these two guys.
There is one thing in subtlety and like stuff being lost in translation, but then when Ibai just says your shit team, there's not much room for misinterpretation there. Brizz, as somebody that has a bold take from time to time, what did you make of the banter back and forth, like explicitly between them?
I mean, bro, I think that I mean, a man can say whatever he wants, right? Like if a guy can say like KC is a shit team, like it doesn't mean it is a shit team, but you know, for the fans following the team, the take of the president of the guy, you know, it's important. You know, it matters a lot for the Spanish community, and it creates some kind of narrative. Let's say, I mean, I don't want to call it a toxic narrative, okay? Just because it said shit team, blah blah. For me, saying that a team is shit is not toxic. It's something that's part of the game as well. Then, of course, I mean, I have. If you want, I can do a list of words that can be considered toxic in game, but. I mean, that
He's
can
trying
be
the
too
words
much.
out or what?
I can say something more from KC, from Caliste. Caliste standing up, doing this, and then after 2 minutes, they got 4-0 in favor of Koi. So I can let you do whatever it. Jojo Pyun said something insane. I think it was after the second game. Can I repeat it?
Please do, please do.
We will fuck them so hard on the third game. That was so good to hear.
He
Like,
lied.
I was cheering like this. I was clapping like that, and then he got clapped, of course, in the third game. But it doesn't matter. Like,
I mean, okay, I've got a question then. Skyyart, we talked about how the rivalry was good. Let's stick on the fan bases. Do we think that this leads to more interest, more excitement? Do we think it leads to more toxic? Like, what direction does this fandom response actually go towards?
It's hard to say. I think on one side, I think it's good because it brings much more interest for the league. Even some matches which were not that important is now much more important, and I feel like it will build interest to people, but we should not fall into toxicity because it's still a show, and I think people have to understand that. You can enjoy the game, support your team, and not be a bit rude to people. So I think it's very important, actually.
can I take from here quick? Listen, I agree with Skyyart, but I can't stand another game of Faker win the game and say something like, "Yeah, we played good, but the opponent team played good as well. We just played better, have fun."
I agree with you.
I can't stand this. I can't stand it. I can't stand it anymore. Not in Europe, please, guys. Keep it up like this. I think Koi against KC was the best series of the year after the final G2 against KC that we just witnessed a few months ago.
I wanted to quickly grab this because it reminds me, honestly, that one interaction that Kalis did during that MKOI versus KC game where he stood up and he took the headphones off, it gave so much CS vibes where I think he might have been probably fined for taking his head off during a live game. But it was worth it. It was so much interaction. The crowd loved it, despite being whichever fan team you were of. So I feel like it was going to a good direction. And this also leads up to a question where having just franchise players with incredible personality does so much for the organizations in specifically LEC at the moment, because you are seeing these players that are rising up for each organization, and when you say an org's name you just think of one specific player, and I think it is doing really good for them.
I think
Yeah,
as well.
maybe. Go, quick shot, go.
The call out for Counter-Strike is awesome to me because, frankly speaking, League of Legends players are very sheltered, are very limited in their exposure. If you want to see what trash talk looks like, look up Apex from Vitality and just do Apex trash talking, right? The reason Skyyart is laughing, Apex leans over the table and shouts and screams dead eye to eye for people. And like, it's normal. It's somewhat encouraged.
I think I came from CS, and it was at first I was a CS player, and I believe it's the whole LAN energy, and we lost a bit this because we compete only online, but by that time it was only physical events, so we were used to, okay, you try to joke on online, but physically what you gonna do? And I think it builds some tension, and I think it's very good. And as Kitty said, I think it's nice for real games as well. I think Riot maybe a bit blocked a bit too much all this show, and I think it's positive. I think League of Legends players are a bit, I would say, more shy on average than Counter-Strike guy, because I think Counter-Strike guy are most of the time, big muscle. I will, and I mean, League of Legends guy, we are brain. I mean, we can't have both, So no, Brizz.
Yeah, I was going to say,
maybe sometimes.
I've spoken to Brizz. I'm not sure everyone is brains. But okay, so listen, I'm going to set the scene here. In the history of European head-to-heads, I can think of 3 that I think define the region. Okay, Fnatic versus G2.
Okay.
I think for G2 versus Origin, and now I think Koi versus KC. First of all, am I missing any? And I'm going to make a statement right now. Koi versus KC is the single most important rivalry in the history of European League of Legends.
I mean, I think maybe, but I mean, it's due to the community and the people that watches them, right? It's not because of the level of the games, I guess, but I mean, I think we can put G2 against KC as well, because I think like they are the 2 teams that will play the most of the finals. Now, I hope I didn't jinx it for them, but I mean, I think they are the best team on the league. Okay, so maybe G2 KC right now is the new G2 Fnatic of a lot of years ago, But yeah, I think I agree with you here, Quick.
I think KC Koi has more emotion, but I personally prefer KC G2 because of the level of the play. But I think it all started with Pixel War. It was an event, and we had to click on pixels, and Kameto was basically the leader of France, and it went pretty viral in France, and all the creators in French joined Kameto's movement, and on the Spanish side they all joined eBuy movement, and it was like a bit, everyone was doing their best. Okay, if you are born in the early of the year, click on the pixel, and it went big, and I think it was a bit emotional because it was everyone already insulting each other. So I think it came from here.
Kitty, what's more important, the national rivalry, Spain versus France, or the gameplay quality? Because I think we're getting a very co-streamer POV here.
What gameplay quality? Have you seen the games over the week? Like, they were entertaining, I think is the correct
the best
word.
level.
It was entertaining, because you cannot tell me that it was MKOI versus KC, and then it was GX versus KC. Those were entertaining to say the least, because I don't think a lot of the mechanics were
Yeah, but
picture
because you
perfect,
come
but-
watching the LCK League and the LPL League, of course, you think.
Yeah, but also, listen, hang on. Don't throw this. Brizz, you and Skyyart literally just said it should be G2KC because the quality's better. It's LCK, LPL quality.
Yes.
I think Spain versus France, I think Ibai versus Kometo has a bigger influence on viewership. Like, the top 5 most watched games were KC. KC versus every other team. Like, it's just...
Yeah, but
that's
against
more
KC,
important.
They are fighting for the candies. Like G2 are fighting for the trophy. Who cares?
Who cares? Money, business, industry, viewership. Like, G2's always going to get the trophy. Who gives a shit anymore?
No,
what
yeah,
matters...
but-
I do want to say quickly, as someone who primarily watches LPL and a lot of the Asian leagues, something that is incredibly unique towards LEC is that national rivalry. You'll never have people in freaking Korea and, let's say, China just fighting against each other because of their nationality, because they're literally all the same. So in LEC, you have France versus Spain, which I think is super duper interesting. So I personally think still that G2 Fnatic holds a stronger history, but when it comes to viewership, I guess when it comes to discussion points, MKOI and Casey will probably take the cake.
Yeah, but Quickshot is gaslighting you. Like, he's lying. Like, he's saying, I didn't say that I don't give a fuck about Koi KC. Come on. I just said that I prefer KC G2. Okay, I didn't say that Koi KC doesn't matter, okay?
You don't like oranges? it was like, I like apples, so you don't like oranges?
Yes, that's what he did.
That's correct. What aboutism? Okay, one last question on this topic before I do want to start moving us on. France versus Spain, that's the headline. Who came out on top in the weekend? Because Koi beat GX, GX beat KC, KC beat Koi, but Koi beat G2. So who of the countries was better? Who came away saying they were stronger? No, come on, Brizz, what's your gut?
I think the MVP of the week is the chrono break of Koi G2. Yeah.
Okay, that'll be my next topic. Next topic. But you still have to decide, France or Spain?
I mean, let's go for Spain.
Please.
No, I know you're from France, but right now you're in Portugal. You're more near to Spain. So I'm saying Spain.
Good point.
Why is it France, Skyyart?
To me, it's France for sure, because I think Casey Koi was such a great series, but why the fuck they fight 4-on-5 all the game? Please explain to me. One guy is dead, and they do. We are 4-on-5. Let's go. And they lose 3 fights 4-on-5, taking by themselves. And I mean, in front of the crowd, what are you doing? And I think like KC against GX was less important. So, brand top, man. Okay, it might be good in solo queue, okay. But it's a bit crazy, you know. It was like, it was a bit, I think it was pure fun.
What about Zeri top lane from Mirwin?
Yeah, I think Zeri top lane was weird, but to me, for me, I think Mirwin trolled a bit a lot of moves. Is itemization on Shyvana, 0 armor against nearly full physical team. I was like, man, please, lucidity boots, really? Oh, okay, nice.
He stole a Drake. He's faker. Come on.
Yeah, maybe he can dodge everything, but maybe not when he got killed just before the fountain. And I think if he changed a bit of his itemization, the game might be won. But you know,
I
don't know.
I mean, in the end, the playoffs are the game that matters the most.
Yeah. Truly agree. But
to me, like Skyyart, I think like I don't even want to talk about Spain, France, because if I'm a French fanboy right now of KC, I'm a fan. I'm watching more the KC G2 game. G2 won in 20 minutes, both games.
Yeah, you're agree.
I don't know about
KC G2. I think KC played bad. I think Yike actually was trolling.
Oh, come on. He was not trolling. He's getting gapped every single game. Like, remember the final?
Agree.
Yeah, come on. It happened again on the previous final. Yeah, what's that quick?
In the question of who won between France and Spain, the answer is G2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
Kind of.
I think Yak got gapped by every jungle in the games. Like every single game.
Yike.
Yeah, you have like the KC Spider-Man doing I'm better than you, Koi Spider-Man doing I'm better than you, and G2 Spider-Man with the 20 trophies and cups and doing whatever he wants, you know? Like, who cares?
At the end of the day, MKOI secured themselves top 4, correct? So
Yeah.
I do think MKOI come out on top because KC was either going to be first or second. Unfortunately, I have to. I mean, we could have Trevor's opinion as well. To break the tie or to break the 2-1, I think MKOI came out on top since they were at threat of going to the lower bracket, and they really needed that win against G2, and somehow they actually pulled it off because G2 was having quite the miracle run over at this Madrid roadshow where they didn't drop a single game, and then bam, they drop a game. They drop 2 games to MKOI, and they're back.
I mean, I think I'm probably going to say Spain wins as well. I know Brizz kind of phoned in Spain. I think Skyyart said France. Kita, you and I said. I think when you look at how the community came together, I think the fact that Ibai was standing where he needed to stand when the game was closed, and it was Kameto that bailed. And look, don't get me wrong, a 6 a.m. flight to Madrid to go play a show match, then probably fly home and do your show. Like, stuff's tough. Like, I get it. It's a tough situation, but then don't say yes, don't agree, don't make every broadcaster, don't make, like, everything else had to pivot and change. It was a lot harder. But I'm still going to say, I think Spain, I think the rivalry and to bring the Spanish community together, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in playoffs and how much more sparks. Okay, we're going to try something new. So for everybody, if your vMix is muted, please unmute it because we're going to try run an interview. We have a little 40-second clip of Elyoya, who picked up the MVP. So we're going to try run that right now.
Like Joya overall is the shot caller in our team, but I think, for example, Jojo sometimes tries to take the leadership and tries to shot call. HopEUm has done really weird plays today and yesterday that throw us the games. For example, on Aesir he got caught one time here. So, for example, Joya say, "Shut the fuck up, just let me talk and listen to me." In the last seats that we actually finished the game on this one, he said, "Let's not talk. We know how to do it. Let's just show it." And I think. Overall, I will say that Joya is bringing that leadership. I think also his mentality. I think he pushes a lot everyone and also himself, and always is kind of like the captain of the team. And also, I think on the other hand, sometimes he's.
Of course, Alvaro speaking about Elyoya is the thing I'll add on that. He speaks like Brizz. Just listen, does some dumb fucking shit, you know, like just throws that out there.
I mean, everyone here has been a player except for Quickshot. And wait, what? I was serious.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah, it was a good bird.
Listen, like when you are in game and you are like you take an advantage or you feel that you can carry the game. So I'm HopEUm right now, and I see something. Like it's normal that I try a play, you know, I try to clutch the game and stuff like this. But in general. Like, if Elyoya is the leader of the team, and if in fact he is, because every game of Koi, you are sure that Elyoya will never play bad. Supa will never play bad. You have Alvaro that sometimes has, you know, bad game. HopEUm that flips. I think he's very good 1v1. HopEUm is very good 1v1, but sometimes he dies in useless ganks.
He got destroyed. Against Caps, he got destroyed. The mid lane, I was like.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree on this.
Back to the original question that Vedius brought up a week ago.
Yeah.
Is HopEUm the best LEC player in the LEC right now?
Well,
yes
let's do
or
this.
no? If no.
Yeah.
In LEC.
Oh, okay, so no, sorry.
Okay.
Who do you think did the best in Madrid? Because I'm very curious on who stood out to you guys in Madrid.
I love the question.
I think Caps deserved winning every single game. And somehow he pressed tab and he said, "Oh, why my bot lane and my mace got just killed just before the third Drake? 10 seconds before I arrived with 2k5 more gold on near blank with Luden." Maybe I'm asking. No, I think Caps was so good, really amazing every single game.
I mean, to me, like I will count only the game against KC and the game against Giant X, because I think like the last game Koi against G2, I think G2 had like no chance to reach. I mean, you could go second place, I think, right? Maybe if you do two.
Yeah,
Correct.
But it wasn't important.
Yeah, but I think at the end it doesn't matter because Vitality had the opportunity to pick the opponent, right? So it was anyway. It was Vitality against the fourth team and G2 KC. Even if G2 got the second spot, it was for sure KC G2. So and consider the mentality of some of the two players, they might not have, let's say, tryharded too much. I will say like this. I'm not sure. I agree. I think like Caps, maybe Skymond. Okay, maybe Skymond was not bad as well.
I mean, look, I want to build on this. We're in the discussion portion of the show, so we can run the little animation and update the thing on top. But the English broadcast said over and over and over. I wouldn't say it was unanimous. There's a lot of videos, which is what Key set up, that HopEUm might be the best performing player in the LEC this year. Whether they win the game, whether they lose the game. Now, I do think the case study against Caps is a great point that Skyyart brings up. I also think that Aljoya is not only the in-game consistent rock, but out of game, he's a very strong voice. He's a very strong leader. He from what I understand, he's pretty much built this team. Like it's around him. He's a very, very like big voice behind the scenes, which also then puts pressure, right? And I think when I have to answer the question of who I think is going to be the best performing player in Madrid, I think I'm going to go Skyyart. I think it's Caps, but I think when I think of the entire year, Skymond is probably my GOAT of 26 LEC if I had to vote right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I think Aljoya was missing on KC team. I think Yike, if Yike goes to Koi and Aljoya play for KC, I think KC was way stronger than Koi for me. I think Yoya played super well with losing lanes, both losing. Mid, it's not even. So in every single game with like 0 prior, he always succeed to do something. For me, Aljoya was amazing. It was stunning performance for me.
I mean, I loved actually as well. Maybe you not agreed with me, Skyyart, but I actually think that Mirwin didn't play that bad like in past. Okay, like I remember very bad performance from him actually in last weeks, and actually let's say he didn't play that bad. Okay, I'm not saying no. It's not a friend of Mirwin. Like,
Aljoya, you say?
No, Mirwin.
Mirwin.
Like I know you didn't improve something from him, from Shivan and stuff like this, but I don't think he played that bad actually.
No, he played fine, but I think on Shivana, if he was, I mean, you know, it was full stuff, and he take a 1K shutdown. He was 100% dead. Please, I ping him.
I agree. I just I'm just saying that he didn't play that bad as in past. That's all. And,
I think he played fine. He did very good thing. I mean, the flanks some were amazing with Shivana, etc. But some moves, it was very, very bad. I think maybe he wanted to prove himself too much, I believe.
Maybe. But I think he's one of the guys that in front of his crowd, I remember him being a lot of emotional. I remember him in Madrid every time standing up on the chair, like hyping the community and stuff like this. So who knows? Maybe he wanted to try hard, you know? Let's say like this. And
I mean, speaking about trying stuff for Merwin, he also put out the Zeri top lane into Kanasnar in that game decider game 3 when it was 1-1 between Casey and MKoi. And from memory, Merwin's always been the person to try things on the LEC stage. And I was super hyped for MKoi going to international because I always thought he would bring these to the international stage. But it always feels like that Merwin, I don't know, he changes his plan and he just shows us the very standard drafting that you would assume at these international games. So walk me through why this Zeri pick was considered here, and will we see more interesting 80 carry top laners going into playoffs?
There's no counter to Gnar right now. Like the counter to Gnar is Vayne, which is actually what's else, Skyyart? Tell me.
No, Brizz. I'm a Vayne fan. I think Vayne destroyed Gnar.
No, I'm talking about Vayne. I just said that Vayne counters
But why
Gnar,
not
but it was
Yasuo?
banned.
Why not Yasuo?
Yasuo is good for the opening team.
Okay.
I mean,
Opening team, just only.
Yasuo, you have to be good, you know.
Yeah, but like BB pulls it out.
Just no Yasuo, please.
Okay.
I mean, I want to remember BLG banned Yasuo to Broken Blade. Just say it.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's the BB pick. Okay, so Skyyart, do you actually like the Zeri
We
top?
have a game.
I
I think so. So we can have a game. No, I mean BB is playing well Yasuo, but I think the champion is destroying a draft.
So Zeri is not destroying the draft. So Vayne is not destroying the draft.
Vayne no.
Why you pick Vayne? To win
For
the
me,
1v1.
Vayne is so OP against Gnar.
It is.
And I think the game on which we won against Koi was two reasons. First reason was Supa, maybe he tried to hug the Skarner, and then somehow he got ulted by Lulu, and he got one shot with Flash, with Zonia, with ulti. And the second point for me was Vayne on Broken Blade. He was very good. He was actually very good. And I really enjoyed, because I was asking in previous podcasts that he need to train Vayne like 1 month and a half ago, and wow, what a performance! I was impressed by Broken Blade, and I think playing Vayne is actually very good because he has, I think, a tankish play style, but I think Vayne will counter it a bit. I mean, in Korea, for example, Deuce played Vayne against Jace, and he won. And then he played Gnar because there is no more Vayne, because he just played it. And actually, it works very, very well. And I believe Broken Blade, for me, he is now, for me, so much better than 2 years ago.
I agree with you, but that doesn't answer the question. Like, if Vayne is banned...
Vayne is good, bro. Vayne is good.
He's
in
broken,
team fight,
he's broken.
You
but
can't ignore...
No, I'm agreeing with you. Don't gaslight me like Quickshot. I'm saying Vayne is broken, but Vayne was banned.
Okay.
Vayne was banned, or I don't remember.
I will say, I stalked Broken Blade's OPGG before the week 3. I think it was very early on when Vayne was first starting to show up in the meta, and he actually had like a really high win rate on Vayne. He played around 4 games and he won 3 out of the 4. So I felt pretty good. I was like, okay, so he's been practicing his Vayne in solo queue and he brought it out. He looked really, really good. So that's a really interesting like dynamic that G2 has, where G2 seem to be really reliable on these tank top laners from BB. You see a lot of Ornn prio for them, especially when people are playing Rumble blind. And then he's also playing Vayne, but he's not allowed to play Gnar or any like Jaces. So what makes BB actually pull out this Vayne top lane? Because it's like Skyyart was saying, stylistically very different from what we're used to.
I mean, it has to just be the counter, right? Because the other thing is, look at the champion pool this year with Fearless Draft and with the new lane quest or role quests. I think it's probably taken 4 months. I only think in the last month have we started to see pro play pretty much around the world, expanding the pool, right? Varus top, Vayne top, Anivia top. We're starting to see, but exactly, right? We're starting to see picks that I think what Fearless tried to do was make the pool broader, make people do more things. And I think it's finally happening. Because, like, look, Vayne top has been a thing for as long as I've played this fucking game. But it's Vayne spotting. It's always people going 0 and 10. This is the thing. But now we're actually seeing a pro play. I can't think of another time where it's seriously been considered. And I think it's finally a part where it's like, okay, the Fearless Draft, the way that the laning phase is playing out and the way that the game is balanced at the moment, we are finally starting to see that diversity, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, but I think like comp-wise, okay, when you pick a Vayne, it has to be only for the counter, you know, because she wins hard 1v1, because she doesn't give you anything on a team fight. I mean, you don't have engage, you don't have disengage. She just bring you, you know, the hard 1v1, she goes 1 level ahead, she goes 30 creeps ahead, she can dive with a jungler moving top. That's what Vayne gives you, you know. When Koi picks Zeri, you know, that's not the same as going for the Vayne, because Vayne has the kill pressure on the Gnar. Zeri, okay, what she does, she close one item, she clear the wave, and then she scale. That was the Koi idea, I think, because I don't think Zeri has the kill pressure 1v1 like a Vayne, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I have in mind the fact that if you pick Gnar against Bean, he's going Jax.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. I'm sure about
The problem is, I think when you look at a player like Bin, the game is warped around him. I think a lot of the time when you let Caps have a champion, the game gets warped around Caps. Maybe Skymont, right? Like, there are certain players that will warp the game either on a signature pick or just because they are that exceptionally talented. Right? I'm going to go back to a little bit, like Bin's Gangplank, for example. Every single time he got it, it didn't matter who was on the other side of the rift, they just got shit on. So the game gets warped so much. I'm not disagreeing with your point. I just think that not everyone's going to play, be able to play bin tier jacks into, those picks.
Then you have to start to value the Gnar more, because like Kanna picks Cassiopeia into it. He hinted because he's immobile. He got perma-camped. He got 0-4. He's useless. Even if he came back, actually. What's up, Skyyart?
Actually, I agree with you. I think Gnar is for me, it was the best blind before Vayne came in. And actually, I was really surprised about Broken Blade against Aurora. It's a slight negative matchup, but wow, he destroyed him. I mean, his transition with Mecha Gnar was very, very clean and surprised Kana a lot. I think he's starting to be very, very, very good at range top. And to me, he became versatile. And Vayne, for me, is good in composition because it's a win condition. It scales so hard, and in team fight, it will take a lot of pressure out of Ensama. Ensama will be way more free DPS. I just don't want to see any, please. I ate a bit, sorry, Karma.
Okay.
Karma first pick. I'm starting to lose my hair even more now. So
She has a lot of
don't know
pride.
why,
Save
please.
Skyyart's hair.
No, she has a lot of pride.
Karma, Ezreal, every fucking game. Please. I'm
wait.
fucking mad. There's the fucking Rakan, and Rakan, it just W 80 carry, and we lose the game.
It's boring.
And the Karma is here. Wait, I will come to shield 0-5.
Yeah, I agree.
I have to talk about something more boring.
I agree with this,
Just
but
really quickly.
oh, what's up, Kitty?
Yeah. Now I need to bring up something that's even more boring because I know people hate Ezreal Karma right now. However, there's a champion that's creeping back in, and it's because of the new Doran's items. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the new Doran's item. It's called Doran's Helm and Doran's Bow. One is a starting item for a tank, the other is a starting item for AD carries or anyone that needs attack speed. And Cassante is honestly slowly coming back into the professional meta with that Doran's Helm. And I also wanted to kind of like pick apart your brains on what you guys think just about the two items in general.
I want Xante to be removed from the game. Like
Me too. I'm with you.
It's not going, bro. It's coming back.
Oh
I even think one time per series is one time too many.
Oh, come on, man.
For me, I even casted in game in RCK on which Zeus was the Jax, just as you said, Brizzy, but he got countered by a Cassante and he got absolutely destroyed. I mean, he got literally destroyed, and it was amazing. But yeah, as Kissy said, I think the item was helping.
Yeah.
I mean,
a little bit busted stats wise.
Helping?
I think
Maybe,
I think we should wait a little bit because like I have the feeling like people are still in testing the items. So I think we wait until MSI, then we will see.
I want to see what it does to the meta. I want to see which other picks come in as well because
I do think Doran's Bow is more popular at the moment. Just quickly, because from what I've seen, Doran's Bow, you can buy Doran's Bow plus 2 pots compared to your usual start, which is Doran's Blade, with 1 pot. So what do the AD carries value right now? The attack speed or the extra health? Because as we see, a lot of the AD carries are actually building Doran's Bow with the 2 health pots early on, and in laning phase is quite important for the trading.
I mean, you can't underestimate how valuable the additional HP is from the second pot. But I think it depends so much on your matchup again. It depends so much on what the 2v2s are going to be, whether you've got the enchanter or not enchanter. Like, and it's going to be a little bit. I don't want to say rock paper scissors, but I like the fact that little bit of diversity might actually help again, because I think the bottom lane might be the least exciting lane when it comes to picks and bans, and maybe it's because the AD carry pool is actually so much less versatile than so many others.
Pool the problem. I don't want to see Lulu, Karma, Seraph.
I don't mind.
Dude,
I don't mind. I would like
Trash Kalista.
Shouldn't you be the
Where is
biggest
the Trash
endpoint
Kalista?
fan after this
I
week?
agree. I would like to see
Shouldn't you
more
be the
engaged
biggest endpoint
supports.
fan?
I would like to see more engaged supports. Don't get me
Dude,
wrong, but
listen.
I also think as a duo,
I'm so
as a
tired.
duo, yeah.
I'm so tired. Like Skyyart, every game I'm going to see Seraphine Ash. Seraphine clears the wave. No trades, not 2v2, maybe 2v2 if the opponent trolls. Okay. I pick Karma. I push the wave. 0 trades. Blah 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 blah. I pick Lulu Yunara. I don't do nothing. I level 1, level 2 spike. I go in. I take pressure. I do nothing while I scale. Come on, man. Give me the Nautilus, which is banned actually, perma banned every game. But give me Trash. Give me Alistar back, give me something else.
In DO5, probably. But But I agree with you. But I think Seraphine is way harder to play than Karma. I'm actually with portable computer. I can play with my notepad. With Karma, I can play. I can play. I'm literally playing Karma on my second screen.
Can please?
But you can play. You can play Seraphine. If you're a bad player, you can play Seraphine like a Karma, because you take Q on the wave and you do nothing.
Yes,
I mean, look, I'm with you, Brizz. I'm with you. No,
I've seen many, even support in LEC played shit.
Yeah, but because they're bad players, not because
I also think the skill
Brizz,
expression is so much better on engaged supports. I do think you can see the stronger players when you have to be a Rel, a Leona, a Thresh. Like, there's a higher mechanical element to it, but there's also decision making. That's more important. So I get that.
Brizz.
And yeah, that's...
Oh my god.
I mean, you were yapping about how melee supports are so much more fun to watch. MKoi literally shit on G2 over the weekend, only playing melee supports.
Yes.
And they genuinely just took the losing lane every 2v2. You had to look at the gold difference in bot lane and the CS difference. It was quite atrocious for the MKoi side for like the first 5 to 10 minutes, but it ends up working anyway. So is this going to be the new meta that MKoi is just gonna shift it back to melee?
I could play for Koi as well.
So much gold down.
But have you seen Labrov, man? Labrov didn't join the game. He was like in vacation. I don't know. She went 0-5 every. He went 0-5 every game. Come on, man. Like, are we joking?
I think because he had Karma. I think Karma is dog shit.
Okay. the point is made.
I think it's like 7-19. It's 7-19. Well, we wait 10 200.
The pressure in bot lane is more important in competitive right now of the 2v2 kill pressure. So Seraphine pushes, Karma pushes.
Keep it in Italy.
Pressure.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
Pressure.
I don't like that. I think Thresh is you are not great. You play Thresh, you will be fucking pointless after the lane. Take my long term, bro. Oh no, I'm CC. You have no micro percentile. Okay.
Just for the record, Karma has been banned 33 times. Has been picked 27 times, and of the 27 picks, it only has 7 wins. It is 20 losses.
Amazing.
7-20.
Let's first pick it, I believe.
Okay, wait. Okay, listen. I wanna change topic a little bit now. We can come back to the meta. We can come back to champions a little bit later when we look to playoffs. I want to ask a question about one other thing that we mentioned. Kitty talked about the Ornn that we saw from Broken Blade, and Brizz. I know just before we went live, we were talking a little bit about the pause meta. Was anybody else as mad as I was that it took 25 minutes to say play on?
Man, give me. I wanted to listen. I wanted to skip everything and watch the clip of Broken Blade Ornn dashing in the wall and seeing like the Yunara avoiding the knock-up. I just want to say, I need to skip everything right now. I want to see the clip. Do you have it? Please tell me you have it. Thank you. Thank you. I want to see this. I knew I was talking to great people. Show me.
It's not a clip. We've just got the screenshot. We've just got the screenshot.
My God.
So I'm being told from production that, wait, hold on. Brizz is dumb. That's what my producer's telling me. So, Brizz.
Someone telling me there is a post from HopEUm on the podcast.
Okay.
Sorry.
Brizz. Okay, so Skyyart, what do you make? What do you think?
About the Chrono Break?
I mean, it wasn't. It was play on, right?
Yeah.
The Chrono meta.
To me, the problem is not the players. I think for me, it's the developers. I think they should get an AI improving the Chrono Break so we can Chrono Break at a frame. Vitality against Koi, Chrono Break after the death of Mirwin, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But not, Mirwin just completely on his keyboard, and then we come back and, oh, now he played correctly. Okay, my bad, my bad. So I think we need to have a Chrono Break that we can choose the frame. I mean, the game is now 17 years old. How is it not possible to have an amazing developer that can do it? I don't understand, actually. For me, it's a nonsense. I mean, we can Chrono Break. Oh, we can Chrono Break before the first pick of Karma. Okay, good idea. Let's go. Nice. Except this, I don't know.
I mean, come on, man. But what about the decision itself of let the game going? What's this? Like, how can you not see that it impacted so in a negative way the team fight of G2, like you have to be like, I imagine right now, the VAR on football. I imagine the squad of 3 referees watching the clip, and they are like Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, and Andrea Bocelli, that doesn't see what is happening on the team fight. Like, that's impossible. How is it possible?
But hang on. Then the next question is, they see what's happening, but the judgment call is made that the impact of this one bug would not have resulted in a significant change or difference. Like, wasn't that the? I think that was what the wording was, right? That, like,
minor bug.
Minor
bug.
Right? I mean, if the judgment call is made, it's always going to be at the referee's discretion.
Yeah, but for me, I was obviously for G2, but the thing is, I can understand it's a hard decision because HopEUm made an amazing ultimate, and the bot lane was in very bad position, let's say. So even if Supa got cancelled and cancel dash, I'm not 100% sure that Ansama would have survived. And if you were Koi, you would have been a bit upset about the chrono break. But if you are G2, you will be upset. I think the problem is the chrono break itself. I think the chrono break itself is trash.
The problem is League of Legends that's bug in 2026.
Yes, bugs
yeah, okay.
And a chrono break. I mean, it's.
I mean, look, I'll say this. The technology does exist, but it depends on how the engine is coded. Because in StarCraft 2, they actually developed a way that you could download like demos. You know, Skyyart, you'll know this from Counter-Strike, like replay files, okay? I'm trying to think of a word that League of Legends viewers would understand. But if you can download like a replay file from a pro's perspective, you play it in client. And in StarCraft 2, you could then take control of the game at any second. So you could literally watch, like, you could go back and you could watch like a bin gangplank against G2 from an MSI 5 years ago, and you could replay from Bin's perspective, like log in and say, can I do this? Can I pull it off? So,
but I don't want to see your gangplank quick shot. Sorry.
Don't, dude. Seriously, nobody wants to see that at all. I actually got to play in a show match against Ibai on stage. Not
really?
like some people. Yeah, it did not go well for me. No, I got shit on.
You could ask for a chrono break.
I'll ask this though, Kitty. You're hearing a little bit of like our perspective here. What's the take on like chrono breaks and pauses and things? Let's say from LPL side of things.
I mean, I think quite literally 2 months ago, I saw a game get chrono breaked 2 times. It was so insane. Wow. 2 times over the same bug because, okay, imagine this. Jungler walks towards red buff.
Yeah.
He can't, you know how there's the circle that you can pick up red buff?
Yeah.
He can't pick it up. Period. He can't pick it up. There's no fight. There's no nothing. He just can't pick it up. They chrono break it for 10 minutes. Wow. He redoes everything, skips camps, and specifically goes to pick it up without making the same chronological order. He can't fucking pick up the red buff, so they remake it again. So I was dead ass sitting there for like a good 30 minutes just watching this guy pick up his red buff.
Think about the players. Think about the players.
I was like,
how do you?
Oh my god, guys, this Panther really needs his red, guys.
How do you redo the same thing?
And
I mean, they're getting paid.
Let the red buff go. They let the red buff go. So when I saw this chrono break, well, not chrono break, this discussion of the bug from Ornn that didn't knock up the Yunar in an intense 5v5, and it was a hard-winning fight for MKoi, and it caused MKoi to get the soul right after. Obviously, MKoi fans were going to be really mad if they did get a successful chrono break, because there was a world where G2 could have potentially gotten a better trade, maybe even get themselves back in a little bit. It wasn't too doomed.
Okay, wait. Can I read this? And then if you guys know football, can you help explain this to me? Somebody. Okay, so B MKoi. Vitality series. Zaheem face checks Corki and dies. Talia ult bugs out. MKoi gets chrono break and wins unwinnable game. In the G2 series, Ornn E knockup on MKoi. Main carry bugs out. No chrono break. And MKoi win. It's like playing against Real Madrid. What does that mean? What's the Real Madrid burn?
I mean, I'm not watching football since a lot of years, but I think like they have some help from the referees, stuff like this. Maybe because they are Real Madrid, even if they do. I mean, let's say like this, but I watched frame by frame that clip almost 20 times, even more, maybe 30, maybe 50. I remember watching
crush on BB?
What the fuck?
Yeah, listen. It was
amazing live, bro.
Thank you. it was for sure uneven. Like, and someone was dead, no matter what, anyway. But Yunara was dead as well because Caps could walk straight on him. So it was 1-for-1 with Broken Blade recalling plus TP. So it was no way Koi could have done the soul. So it was, the game was playable, you know? It doesn't mean G2 was in, like, you know, in a favorite position.
No, but it's playable. Yeah,
it was playable. It was not over. So what can we make out of this? You know, I mean, you just need a referee to watch it, maybe understanding what is going on. Also,
I hate that. I hate that as an answer.
Okay.
Every
fix the
referee.
Ornn bug.
Of course. No shit, Sherlock. Make the game not have
no
bugs.
Bug. What is 8 years old bug? Come on, man.
But I
Brizz,
think
how about G2 just shouldn't be down 3 dragons and in a losing state against MKoi?
Also true, but a different conversation. Different because they were, and I think as well the only reason I'll argue with Brizz a little bit on the point about a ref like using his eyes. Every single ref in every single sport that I've ever watched there will be a game or a call that those refs get called out. It happens in NFL, it happens in Premier League, it happens in boxing, it happens in MMA, it happens in League of Legends. Like as soon as you allow, or as soon as you have human judgment and perspective, there is significantly more wiggle room for a difference of opinion, potentially disagreements. I won't necessarily say wrong, but like it opens the door for that, you know?
I mean, I understand, but if you take 100 pro player that they watch the play and you take the referee does a mistake, 100 player doesn't do the mistake. So
He's just saying the referee is a complete noob.
Yes. Yes, he has to be gold. He has to be silver to not understand.
One thing I will just say on this one, in the event any of the referees as people are watching, we are discussing theoretically, we're not directly attacking because it's a very difficult job. It is a very difficult situation to be in. And I used to work with a lot of these guys and see people in the studio and stuff. It's a shit position to be in. And it is a shit. I think the reason it took 20 minutes, I think there was a lot of conversation. I think there was a lot of debate.
Agree.
I think it was a hard thing. Would I have liked a different decision? Yes. But again, these are different things, you know?
At the end of the come on, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Come on, guys. Playoffs in next week. Come on.
Yeah.
In this situation, both decisions are bad decisions for people anyways. And I think changing what happened is for me, even if it was bad for G2, I think it's for me even a bit worse. Because if we chrono break and G2 won the fight completely because actualizer rights, etc., I think it will be like even worse than Vitality Koi. It was Koi again, so I think it's okay. You know, it's like it's karma, but Vitality fans will still cry. But still, because it's karma, but Vitality fans still lost. I mean, but to me, chrono breaking is a bit more engagement than sorry.
Yeah.
And because maybe after you can learn how to reproduce bug to make it chrono break, you know, it's a bit weird because if you are an OTP Ornn, you might be able to, I know here it's a bug. I know here there is a bug. And then you can try to have a special mind. So I don't know. I don't, Broken Blade didn't do it. But I mean, you can then start to create this kind of things.
I mean, listen, by the way, I've heard from Skyyart twice now. A theoretical player could mess with a cable and then force a pause and something can happen. A player could forcibly use a bug to get an advantage. The underlying thing that I'm hearing, though, is like, if people know how to do it, if people know how to take advantage of the engine, if people know, you can force a bad situation to get a potential favorable things. But then it goes back to Kitty's point. If you're still down 3 dragons, if you're still in a shitty situation, it's not going to fix that problem, you know? So,
What if it was a
like
playoff
game?
I
don't know if you were playing the game by that time, but when you are losing the game, drop packing the game is cancelled.
Yeah.
Oh, unlucky.
Yes.
Xerath Q on the spawn, game resetting, I remember it. When you do a Q on Xerath resetted on the spawn, inverted, it was like crashing the lobby. I remember it.
I also remember that happens
so it's it can be weird.
Yeah.
It can be. Luckily, online server, that's not a thing too much. Okay, I would like to move us on. I think we've had a very good conversation on our pauses and chrono breaks. Let's move to the last section of the show. It is our preview section. We're going to look a little further ahead. Let's now turn our attention to playoffs.
Love it.
We have a week off, so it is a rest week. When we move into playoffs, Kitty, I'm going to go ladies first here. KC versus G2. Vitality versus Koi, and then in the lower bracket, Na'Vi and GX. So, Kitty, what are you looking forward to when we look forward?
I mean, come on, guys. It's KC versus G2 again. I will say I was a little bit disappointed over the G2 KC series that we had over in Madrid. I was expecting a much closer best of 3. I didn't expect Skymon to genuinely school Yike 2 games in a row where Skymon, he is the best jungler in LEC when he is in tip-top shape, and just straight up, I don't even know what Yike was doing that day. So I am a little bit disappointed over that result. However, it's going to be a new patch. Does anyone know what the patch is going to be for playoffs for LEC? Is it going to be 11 or 10?
No idea.
Because right now it's 9, so usually it's the next patch. It will be 10.
I'll see if I can find it, but I'm not 100% certain.
Is there any change?
Certain.
Any change on the jungle or something? Some champion?
For patch 10, not jungle in particular, but DFT will be nerfed damage-wise. And I think 11, they're changing the DFT Black Cleaver interaction, so champions like Senna that are really busted with DFT will be moved. I am expecting a bit more Senna for the upcoming LEC playoffs, but that's a completely different conversation. But I will say that G2KC should be good. However, historically, G2KC in the road to playoffs, or this isn't the road to, this is the road of playoffs. Yeah, road of playoffs have always been a stomp. And then KC make the lower bracket run. They beat everyone. They make the finals. It's happened before. 2025, they went to first stand. And then in 2026, exact same story, but G2 barely won the game 5 in that grand finals. And they were the ones going to first stand. So I do think it's a very interesting narrative to build up for G2KC. And it does seem like these 2 teams are probably going to be the highest contending teams for MSI this year.
Ooh, ignoring Vitality? You don't have hope in Vitality? Wait, Skyyart, why did you pick thumbs up?
Vitality's first, right?
Yes.
I agree with the lady. I think she tells the truth. So Vitality is alive just in the name, I believe.
Oh my God, man.
But hang on. No, you can't. How are they alive in the name? Number 1 seed going into...
For me, G2 is playing better, and I think KC will play better if Yike just wake up a bit. I think it was a bit sleepy.
He will sleep again. Like Skymon put him in bed every time, in every series.
I mean, listen, but hang on. Do you not think Nako is going to have a much happier time like destroying people like Mirwin, maybe like having a bit of a chat against Kana? Like, I have way more confidence. I think it's Vitality and G2 is my finals. I would like to see KC there. I don't have as much confidence in Koi. I think that they'll probably get shown up in a best of 5. But for me, I'm looking at
Nako will maybe play Jace. And for me, Jace isn't a great pick for Nako because we are starting to see new counters. I think Sion is a very good pick. I think Shyvana was a very good pick from Wonder on SK Gaming. I also think on Korea side, we saw one Olaf against Jace, Talia mid, and Ash Seraphine from KT, and they got just melt because they couldn't do anything against the Olaf.
Oh, nice photo. I love
What is that photo?
Okay.
What is this?
Okay.
When the split, if you go to MSI, but one cries to right because Sunday's busy, right? Listens and screwing over your advantage. Okay. One more day to prep. I'm going to say sorry to Chase. I disagree with this. I don't think 24 hours is going to make a significant difference one way or the other, especially because it's 2 fucking weeks. Like, it's such a long time. So I don't believe in this.
I think that's a photo of Kameto at the end of the split, actually. Might be. Listen.
Actually, that might have been Kameto on Saturday morning going, I don't want to play.
Listen, I'm so hyped for the playoffs, Quickshot. Oh my god, I love this image. Look,
Want to zoom in.
I'm
Yeah,
so hyped, guys, for the playoffs because the Vitality Koi is the game. You know, we talked about the Chrono Break before, but Vitality Koi is the game that get impacted for the Chrono Break. Like it was the you know. So I think there is some kind of beef as well between some of the players, but I think Mir win is actually not a bad matchup for for Naknako. I mean, sorry, it's not an easy matchup for Naknako because Naknako is the best top laner for me in the split, but Mirwin can take these, strange picks. So maybe, maybe Naknako, I don't know. I don't think he will fall off in any way because, like, it's very solid on the 1v1. I don't think I ever seen him hinting. Maybe one game with Yasuo. I think I remember him one game with Yasuo going 0-5. But I think it will be a very close series. What's up, Quick?
There's one thing I'll just add on to this. I agree with everything that you've said. I actually have more confidence in Naknako kind of showing up and I have more confidence in him taking down Mirwin than I do like, Koi coming up to a surprise. I also think one thing to note that like Kitty was talking about the fact it's like the road to playoffs, first rounds. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe all of these matches have been played in the LEC studio in Berlin. There is one small caveat that does actually help every other team that's not G2. I think G2 plays better in front of a stadium. I think G2 stands up. I think they rise to the occasion whenever there's crowd and there's fans and stuff like that. There's a tiny bit of me that's concerned that G2 could lose to KC in the first round just as well as they can smash KC in the first round. Because G2 as a team historically has also done lower bracket runs. So now, I think this is a little different.
So they can win or lose. That's what you say.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's
agree.
This guy doesn't say anything and says everything in the same
Doctor Strange!
Yes. Like he's talking for 2 hours and then the answer is yes or no. Yeah, what is this?
Is it? Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that. I am just saying, based on everything that I've seen, how that weekend ended and a week and a half break, it wouldn't surprise me if I go 60-40, G2 lose to KC in round 1, and then make the lower bracket run to finals.
Listen, do you guys remember the final that G2 won against KC 3-2? Every game they lost, they were ahead on gold. Every game they lost, Skymond stomped Yike so hard. In 5 games out of 5, he outperformed Yike. This series we saw 2 days ago, what happened? Skymond stomped Yike. Is this gonna change right now? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Like G2 are gonna win for sure this series.
Yeah, but
then
I think Skymond played pretty bad when he played like Nocturne against Koi. I mean, his first ultimate, he was winning mid, he was winning bot, and his first ultimate was for some reason on top lane on a rumble against Ornn, and he wasted his ult, so he didn't snowball that much. And I feel with Nocturne, he played not so great. So I think he needs to keep the champion that he loves the most. His Lee Sin, I don't think it was amazing as well. He lost many flashes, but for me, his Olaf was amazing.
Yeah,
so the fact that he can play Olaf at this level, it's insane because it can be also a flex pick against like Jace. And I think the versatility of G2 is very, very good coming for the BO5.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to just chime in really quickly. I do think it's really scary for teams to see G2 and see that Skywon is willing to try Nocturne in the current meta. So it's a bit of a different Nocturne where you play a bit more aggressive. Plus the Lee Sin, because Lee Sin is a champion that is slowly getting more and more popular, especially in the East, in LCK, in LPL, and it's usually being played in game 3s and onwards. I mean, there's no game 3s and onwards at the moment, but usually in that game 3, you will see Lee Sins, specifically with a lot of high mobility mid laners that can move with the Lee Sin. It's pretty scary, to be honest. But G2 historically are known to not be good with Nocturne. Nocturne Orianna from 2024. Oh god, just kill me in game. So yeah, not the best champion for G2, but if they pull it off, respect.
Yeah, but listen, I don't think he will pull out the Lee Sin against KC, to be honest. Let's say, let's talk about how many junglers Skymon can play right now before the Lee Sin. There are a lot of junglers like
Xin Zhao, Olaf, Skarner, Pantheon, Wukong, Maokai, Vi, Trundle.
Mundo, even if it's not the old Mundo, but he can play so many things. Skarner is pretty good right now. Aatrox against Xinzhao is good. Xinzhao is broken. Zayn, some comp is very good. Olaf is broken right now. Wukong is broken. There are so many things, you know. Also, I agree. Like, I think Lee Sin is a strong pick right now, but you need to be Korean or you need to be Chinese.
Yeah,
You need to be...
I think I don't want to see his Lee Sin for now.
Yeah. No, but it's the play style of the team. Like, when you play Lee Sin, you have to play aggressive on the opponent jungle doing 1v1, which actually Skymon can do. Like, we saw it against
Lee Sin top. Great idea.
No, Lee Sin top.
I'm joking.
Lee Flex.
No.
I told to Dylan Falco that it was please, no more Lee Sin. He told me, I love it in solo queue.
Don't
No,
give
the
idea to
Nightmare
Broken Blade.
versus
Let him
was
play
awful.
Ornn, Xant and these things and this free game for sure.
Okay, let's do one last thing. Can we bring that graphic back up of our playoffs bracket? And let's get quick predictions here. Oh,
Wow.
what bracket is this? Who is this? This is from, let's take a look. Koi over Vitality 3-1. I agree. Casey over G2 3-1. That's backwards. Let's flip it. They've got Casey winning. So this is Casey going 3 over G2. Skyyart, let's get your comments on this bracket.
I think it's a Casey fan, so he put Casey winning.
Yeah.
But I think G2 has higher chance of winning than Casey for me.
Yeah.
For me, Koi will probably win against Vitality, I think. I think Koi, if Alvaro is in good shape, it's very good. But sometimes he's a bit weird. And I believe HopEUm will play better than what he played against Caps. So I would say Koi and G2 first round.
Same question, Brizz.
Yeah, I'm totally sure about G2 win against KC. Like, we saw it in the past series, so I'm sure about that. I can give you KC wins one game, so let's say 3-1 for G2. I think Vitality Koi will be so close. Like, I'm sure Vitality will win for sure at least one game, 100%. It depends because, you know, Naknako is going to get his picks for sure. At least one game. They can't ban everything. I'm sure he will have the counter pick two games. So I'm for 2-3 Koi. Okay, I'm so 2-3 Koi, but I can see Vitality win as well 3-2.
I'm going Vitality.
But
I'm
everyone
going
has the
Vitality.
buff of chrono breaking and posing.
Yeah, maybe,
I'm going
maybe.
Vitality.
Yeah.
Vitality over Koi for me. G2 over KC. Kitty, first round. Who wins?
First round, I think Vitality will win against MKoi. I think MKoi will unfortunately struggle throughout the playoffs. I don't think this is going to be their split. Y'all can come back in split 3. I'll believe you in split 3. And for the other one, I will do G2 3-0.
Guys,
Wow.
I
Nailed
would
it.
love to see KC against Koi in the loser bracket. That
Me
would
too.
be so
Ooh,
insane.
that'd be-
Yeah. I agree.
Part 3.
I agree.
My dream is loser M5, winner M6 being that match that one of them gets to go to MSI. And
Oh
it's
my God,
France
yeah.
versus Spain. That to me is my ideal. I don't care whatever else happens.
I
Let's
agree.
just get Vitality Koi in that matchup and then see the tears, see the drama. Right. Let's start to wrap up. Let's start to say goodbye. We're going to say goodbye to Brizz and Skyyart. Just before we do, we got a week off. Brizz, what are you getting up to before our next LEC streams?
Oh, what I'm doing in my life?
Yeah, how are
I'm
you?
just-
You know,
I'm waking up, I stream, I stomp,
What
I close
LP are you, Brees?
What?
I've watched your Counter Strike.
What
You do
LP
not
are
stop.
you, Brees?
What am I, Kitty? LPs. Oh,
LP.
LPs.
What LP?
Oh, that's a
LP.
lovely question. I just won 400 LPs on 3 days.
Oh,
30. Look, I was 1K 200 now, you know, reset and stuff. I'm not playing. I found some randoms that griefed my game. You know, happens. Actually, I just played Senna today, and you just said that Senna is broken champion, and I just went 0-5. You know, happens. My AD carry pick a Tankenge, so I was like, yeah, let's go Senna TK. It was not
All
a
I'm
great
hearing
idea.
is excuses. All I'm hearing is
it's
excuses.
the other. Yes, it's the tank's fault. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
But I won
Right,
every single
congrats.
game. Come on, accept that.
400 is great. Skyyart, what are you getting up to over the next 2 weeks?
I'm gonna watch frame by frame the chrono break, just like
Yes.
Breezy, to enjoy myself for 3 hours straight. No, I believe I will visit a bit Portugal and I will play poker for the following days and enjoy it and comment LCK just like usual. And yeah, I like it. I like the game. So
Good luck. Good
Yeah,
luck.
well,
May the river always flow in your favor, my friend.
Wow.
What about
Yeah,
me?
there we go.
What?
Wow.
No,
Why
Okay,
you
the
are so
poet.
listen, wait,
zooming in, man?
Breeze,
Yes.
Breeze, do you play poker? Do you know the flop, the river, like it's the names
Yes,
of
I
things?
know.
So
I don't play, but I
I'm
know.
just checking. I'm just trying to,
No, you
feel
are being
interested.
good to Skyyart and you're not saying anything to me.
Yes,
Say
but you're
something
still my
kind.
favorite.
Okay.
You hurt
No,
the ones you
that's
love.
the same bullshit you're
Obviously.
saying every single time. Come on.
Breeze and Skyyart, thank you guys so much. You guys
Thank
can
you.
drop.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you in a little while.
Bye bye.
Love you.
So, how are you,
Hello.
Kitty? Because that was quite energetic.
Oh my god, they're definitely very caffeinated, both of them. Very exciting for the podcast, of course, and I am very glad that we got to talk about all the topics that we wanted to cover this week, specifically just all the drama that happened over the week. Because I just feel like if you're a normie LEC fan, it's so hard to try and compile all the information because there's
Yeah.
been several tweets, there are several people involved. I don't think we mentioned like just names in particular outside of Ibai and Kameto, but there were other co-streamers involved as well. I just feel like it was a lot of drama. It wasn't too big of a deal, to be honest, because MKOI at the end of the day, they peaked viewership according to stats, and they're very happy with how the roadshow went
but
overall,
also,
and I hope all the
it's-
fans enjoyed too.
It's Twitter drama. Like, as much as we can hype it up and get invested in it, it's still just fucking Twitter. Like, seriously, just let it go. But I will say it was super fun. What was really nice about today's episode, if you are still watching, we unfortunately don't have any G2 members today, but we will be pre-recording some interviews for future episodes. We'll share more of those details later. It was really nice getting the four of us together and just bantering back and forth. Right at the beginning of the show, we talked a little bit about Jinxie and the kind of streamer games. In case anybody didn't see, Jinxie put together, I think, 10 or 20 influencers. They were all streamers, influencers, players that they were either in League for the first time or not. And then there was a ranking system. So if people had played League, then there was a kind of a cap. They could only play a specific champion, a specific role. I think the quote that I liked the most was what Moist Critical said, where he's like, this is the best thing to happen to North American League of Legends in a while. Before I get your take on it, my producer's just telling me we actually have a clip. So we actually have a Tyler 1 clip. Okay, cool. Let's pull this one up.
Tyler on.
Huge shout out to producers, by the way. Like we've got some new things we're trying for today's episode. Massive fan. Let's take a look at this Tyler 1 clip.
It's so much
we'll
going on. He cannot even. It literally breaks his brain. Like, look at him, bro. He is sweating right now. Like, double up this bang, please. The despair in Devlin's voice.
Poor
He is like
Marlon.
pleading. Devlin is like pleading, please.
Oh, that's so tough.
One shot.
Cue him, Marlon. Cue him.
I mean, they don't play League.
Oh, it's Marlon! Oh, no.
The chat is so brutal, by the way. I don't know if anybody was tracking that. So, Kitty, what did you make?
So, for all the people that don't know, the viewership of this tournament was absolutely crazy because it involved a lot of people that were more mainstream. It wasn't League focused, but it had League adjacent creators. And I believe the peak viewership was around 800,000 on Twitch, which is a massive number for any casual tournament streamer event. Crazy stuff. And
that's bigger than what we had.
That's bigger than I think MKOI versus G2, which was the very recent LEC Madrid Roadshow peak. So yes, it is a huge deal, and I saw that clip early on today. So what do I make of it? I'm really happy that people that don't play League of Legends are showing people who've never interacted with the game before that League of Legends is very fun, but overstimulating, but that's also what makes the game really fun. And just gathering so many personalities. My favorite was definitely when you have the challenger support players. They're not challenger. They're challenger League of Legends ranked players. However, they are forced onto support. So they're not a challenger support player. They were forced onto support with
There we go.
Let's just say
Restrictions.
relatively restrictive mechanics. It was Janna, Lulu, Sona, Soraka, etc. It was the restrictive healing supports, as people might say. And it was really fun just hearing them mold over these newer League of Legends players. Because, Trevor, I don't remember when I started playing League of Legends what my reaction was to the whole game. Because it's a MOBA. MOBAs are so overstimulating and overwhelming for newer
Yeah.
players because, like, what is that ultimate? What
But
is
also,
this item?
not
What
only
the hell
not
did I
only
die
just
to?
that, not only just that, the connection to streamers. Like, I'd never heard of Jinxie at all. Now, acknowledging I'm one of the older people in the scene and I don't really watch streamers. Like, I watch tournaments. I don't really watch individual content creators and streamers. So when I saw all these Jinxie clips coming to the subreddits and him bringing all these new eyes and new people to it, what it reminded me of was like the good old days when Doublelift and Hotshot GG and Dyrus and Reginald, when all of the streamers in the early days of League would compete against each other and all the gaming houses were a thing, like, it gave off that vibe. It gave off that energy. But that graphic that was just up, the 4th most watched tournament of the year. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Jinxie's tournament, higher than LEC Versus, as well as then, on the top 5. Like, kudos. Massive, massive, massive congratulations. I mean, it would actually be really cool to see something like that a little bit more regularly here in Europe. I think the language barrier is maybe a little bit more of a challenge, but we've got the streamers, we've got the numbers. It's always just felt like that's something that's a little bit more NA focused from what I remember.
Yeah, also special shout out to Riot Games because honestly, I felt like this whole tournament was really last minute. The whole rosters were made last minute. I feel like people weren't really prepared. However, Riot Games specifically reached out to all of these content creators and they were able to give away a free legendary Master Yi skin for all the viewers in their Twitch chat. I think it was like a 2-hour drop. Like, if you watch the tournament for 2 hours, you get the free Yi skin, you get the free Yi emote, which W Riot, I think that is
awesome.
Absolutely a huge win for Riot Games, especially for them wanting to bring in more casual and newer player base. So yeah. So I think that's just so nice. People were comparing this to the old Twitch Rivals from back in the day, where Twitch Rivals was competitive, but it was also casual. However, there was media coverage over it, and I just feel like it was a good nostalgic flashback to Twitch Rivals. And
listen,
I kind of want
the goal for us is to get big enough that we can get our own Twitch drop. That's the challenge, okay? If you're watching, like, subscribe, comment, help us get there. Okay, we're going to watch one more clip, and then we're going to start to wrap up the show for today. I think I have another
Riot? Yeah, we had a lot of people asking us about...
my boy, T1.
I'll say this. Riot is now a lot different than they were before. I think they're trying nowadays because I think they have to. So if I think I were to do like TCS, even All-Stars, some help. Riot has been wanting to help with All-Stars. But usually when you get help from Riot, there's always like something you got to do, right? It's like, okay, they'll give you this, but you can't do this. You can't say this, and this. So-and-so can't play. They can't do that, right? It's like only these, blah, 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 blah. So it's like you kind of don't want it. But the fact that Riot was even trying to help is an upgrade. So now I think it's to the point now where maybe League isn't the behemoth where they can just disregard everybody, right? As they could in the past. Which I think is just the evolution. It's the way that it goes. So definitely.
I will say this. Let's drop out of this clip very quickly. I know it's right at the end. I don't want to open a massive can of worms because that's a big conversation. But I think it's very fair to acknowledge the game is 17 years old. There is a lot of competition. There are a lot of titles for eyes and eyeballs. And it's very clear that there are layoffs and there's downsizing. Like, things are changing. So kudos that we're seeing effort being made. But I think we should have this conversation on a future episode. We'll drop that one. One last thing I'll just mention. I got to actually hang out with Tyler One at the Esports World Cup. And why is Trevor saying that? Because I'm going to be co-streaming it. I actually just got added and invited to that. So later in the week, I'm going to do my first ever co-stream, Kitty. So I'm nervous as hell. But I get to watch... I get to watch G2, G2 against Na'Vi.
G2 Na'Vi,
my two favorite teams. So pretty stoked that I'll actually get to co-stream that on the weekend. And I'm also going to be doing like Valorant. I'm going to be doing Street Fighter. I'm waiting to get approvals on some of the others, but I'm going to do a bunch of the other games that I get to nerd out on. So that's what I'm doing. What are you getting up to, Kitty?
I hope I'm not lagging.
Okay.
Which I think I might be lagging. Please let me know, Trevor.
I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly. So give us your updates and we can say goodbye.
I will talk through the lag. One has an amazing week. Upcoming presentation for university, and that's going to be my last presentation / assignments before at university. So I'll be looking forward to that.
Study hard. I hope the prep goes well. I hope the research goes well. I wish you all the luck. And seeing as though your camera has died, I think we're going to say good night to you, Kitty. Enjoy the week off, and we'll see you for playoffs, right?
Good night, everyone. Thanks, Trevor, as well. And have an amazing rest of the day.
I love speaking to you, and I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye, Kitty. And of course, thank you so much for watching. We're about to start wrapping up the show. Huge